Juno, for something that took 30 years to make. It's funny how fast people have forgotten about it. The internet, that thing that changed everything. I mean, remember when everyone was worried that the internet was going to lead to nothing but doom? Yeah, turns out those people were wrong. But now we're doing it all over again with artificial intelligence. I hear people all the time saying things like AI is going to wipe out creative jobs, or AI is bad because it's killing creativity. So, in this video, I thought I'd address exactly that point. Show you why these people are also wrong, and do my best to explain some of the really big misconceptions that folks have about artificial intelligence right now. Because while there is a story here, it's not the one that most people think it is. It's a little more complicated than just AI taking over the world or anything like that. So if you're ready to learn, then let's get started. Alright, before we jump into the meat of this video, I just want to give a shout out to a friend. He's someone who has been incredibly supportive of this channel, and I can't thank him enough for it. Also, he's a writer and playwright from Ireland. He writes plays and screenplays and novels and short stories and articles and poetry, and honestly, his resume makes me look like an amateur hack, and I love it. He has been insanely successful as a writer, and yet he too has been affected by AI. Now before I continue, please do go thinking that just because one person is experiencing this issue that it's somehow not relevant to everyone else. One person feeling pain doesn't negate the feelings of millions. On the contrary, every human story is important and should be heard. So let me tell you what DC said to me. You know, I used to write 3 or 4 full-length feature film scripts a year, and I had plenty of those produced. That's what I did for 25 years. My work got optioned by major studios and independent companies alike. And you know what? Those scripts, they made money. Now with the advent of AI, I am finding it harder to sell my work. No. I would say that at least half the scripts I write end up being flagged by AI detectors. Even though I write in my own unique voice, which I'm sure you can appreciate, is actually pretty difficult to do these days. But the algorithms, they don't care about that. They see my work as too similar to what's already out there, even though that stuff is literally hundreds of millions of years old. You know, there's only so many ways you can spin the same tired old fairy tales. But those formulas, they keep selling. And here's the kicker. I've actually worked with an AI company to try and fix this problem. We tried tweaking the algorithm, adding filters, hoping to change the output. But you know what? It's a losing battle. The market has spoken, and quite frankly, it doesn't want to hear my voice anymore. It wants formulaic garbage. And yeah, that's a why for ya, right? Sounds like a grim future indeed. But here's where I think there's a very important lesson to be learned here. DC isn't stupid, he isn't struggling to adapt, and he isn't helpless. In fact, he's incredibly talented and resourceful. And as someone who has personally seen both the incredible potential of AI and the potential threats it poses to humanity, I believe that embracing the tools that are changing the world rather than fighting them is the way forward. Like it or not, AI is here to stay. It's not going away. But rather than throwing your hands up in the air and giving in to fear and despair, maybe a better idea is to take this opportunity to learn some new skills and pivot to something that's going to set you up for success in the long term. For instance, AI is great at helping us automate boring tasks so that we can spend our time on the stuff that matters most. If you're feeling uninspired or stuck in a rut, instead of trying to fight the tide, why not use AI to help you break through? ChatGPT is great for brainstorming ideas and overcoming writer's block. There are all sorts of apps and software out there that can help writers craft their stories in completely new and exciting ways. AI can analyze a story beat by beat, scene by scene, and character by character, and suggest changes that might make your story even better. Let's imagine for a moment that AI really is killing creativity. Is that such a bad thing? After all, isn't it possible that the rise of AI will push us humans to be more creative in return? Think about how the invention of the printing press led to the Renaissance, how the introduction of photography inspired artists to explore new mediums and techniques, how the rise of the internet gave birth to entirely new forms of art and expression. What if AI does the same for us? Rather than viewing AI as a threat, What if we embraced it as an opportunity to evolve our creativity? So rather than asking how can we stop AI from killing creativity, perhaps a better question is how can we use AI to enhance our creativity? So, how can we leverage the power of AI to amplify our own creative abilities and explore new artistic frontiers? I think the answer is right there in front of us, waiting for us to discover it. Alright, now back to the show. So, when it comes to discussing the topic of AI killing creativity, there's a lot of talk about how AI models are trained on existing works and then spit out new ones that are very similar. To put it simply, AI learns from the data that it is fed, and if that data reflects a lack of diversity or originality, then the AI will perpetuate that lack of diversity and originality. For example, if an AI model is trained on a dataset that consists primarily of covers of songs by male artists, then it's likely that the new song it generates will also feature a male artist. This perpetuates a cycle where the same limited set of perspectives and voices continues to dominate and obscure the voices of others. It's also important to acknowledge that the datasets used to train these AI models often reflect existing societal biases and power structures. For example, if a dataset for an image recognition AI includes predominantly images of light-skinned individuals, then the AI may struggle to accurately identify darker-skinned individuals. This reflects the historical and ongoing marginalization of people of color and the resulting scarcity of their representation in many areas of life, including the digital realm. In addition to perpetuating existing inequalities, AI systems that lack diversity in their training data also miss out on the unique perspectives and experiences that diverse datasets can provide. When an AI system is trained on a narrow range of data, it's likely to produce outputs that are similarly limited in scope. This can result in a loss of creativity and innovation, as the AI system is unable to draw upon the richness and complexity of the world that a diverse dataset could provide. However, the good news is that there are a number of ways to mitigate these risks and harness the power of AI while also promoting diversity and inclusion. For example, it's possible to train AI models on more diverse datasets that include a wider range of perspectives and voices. Additionally, it's important to develop AI systems that are transparent and accountable, and that can be easily audited for bias. Finally, it's crucial to ensure that the development and deployment of AI systems is guided by ethical principles that prioritize diversity, inclusion, and social responsibility. This is a big part of why I started this channel. There's this notion that AI is somehow going to take over the world, and it's all going to be bad. But I wanted to take a different approach, a more balanced and nuanced perspective that takes into account the real benefits that AI can bring to society, while also acknowledging its potential drawbacks. It's important to have these conversations because it's through open and honest dialogue that we can shape the future of AI in a way that benefits everyone. As someone who has personally witnessed both the incredible potential of AI and the potential threats it poses to humanity, I believe that embracing the tools that are changing the world rather than fighting them is the way forward. I hope this video has helped shed some light on this issue and has encouraged you to join the conversation. Thank you for watching.